My name is Scott Suter. I'm the head of sales here at Helium SEO. We are a digital marketing, PPC, and search engine optimization agency. We sell primarily to businesses that are looking to increase either sales or lead volume via, Google search, social media paid search, right? So we work with a lot of brands that are looking to, drive tremendous amounts of traffic for terms that get a huge amount of search volume. But we also work with smaller B2B companies that only need, let's say, 10 to 100 new visitors per month, and that could drive a substantial amount of revenue for them. I would say that some of the biggest challenges we face is the ability to follow the right playbook every single time we have an opportunity, right? When those opportunities do present themselves, is a sales rep able to stop what they're doing and, I think somebody phrased it like, it's almost like getting poked with a hot poker in the middle of your workday, right? Like I'm in the middle of my rhythm, I'm in the middle of doing the things that are driving revenue for my business. Somebody's on my website, somebody's reaching out to me, somebody's texting me, am I stopping what I'm doing to engage and to have, follow that system and that playbook that ultimately is going to help me nurture that lead into the discovery call, nurture that proposal into the sale, right? And so I'd say one of the biggest challenges is being able to follow that system perfectly every single time. I think the numbers say that on our SchedulerAI, we've engaged about 12,800 individuals on the website. I think about 188 have had conversations. We qualified about 8 of those 188, which to some people might sound like, well, that's a pretty low qualification rate. To me, it actually it dequalified 90%, right? So that actually, for a salesperson, saved me 90% of my time, potentially, of talking to those individuals. Of the 8 that we qualified, we had meetings with 6, and of the 6 that we had meetings with, 4 of them had budget, and of the 4, they all asked for proposals, right? So, and we closed one of them already, and we're in the process of trying to close a couple of the other ones. So we've seen the numbers in that kind of, that tool really, again, enable us and give us our time back, as opposed to having somebody manage the manage the chatbot, or manage those potential leads that come in, or spend the time sending text messages and reaching out and nurturing and doing a lot of these different things. Would a human in the first 60 days have been able to do what SchedulerAI was able to do in the first 60 days, right? Having somebody sit on the website and monitor the conversations and then run these, these really targeted outreaches after a meeting's been booked and between 2 separate meetings, and even to be able to kind of schedule meetings with an individual just from being prompted via email. I would not have expected a human being to be able to be that efficient within the first 30 to 60 days of coming on board at Helium. I was able to basically say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly what logic and the conversations that I need to be taking place on our website and with the individuals that come to the website. And then to book, 6 meetings, have 8 qualifying conversations. There's just not enough kind of control and enough ramp up time for a human being to be able to learn what we do, learn the qualifying questions, and do it right every single time. So I just wouldn't have expected somebody that we hire to be able to operate, the conversation and the communication the way that we needed to. So we actually just had a conversation here a couple of days ago where we were talking about basically, we think it takes about a year to 2 years for a sales representative to be able to be a subject matter expert on our product, ask the right questions, and kind of manage their pipeline to the point of efficiency, right? So having a kind of part of our sales process being run by this type of technology, this type of intelligence, it's allowing us to kind of pick and choose where we want to see, again, 100% at-bat rate. And this is definitely one of those areas. One of those areas is somebody comes to my website, they want to learn more about who we are. To hire somebody to manage that chat online just wouldn't be feasible, and I don't think it would be nearly as efficient. It would cost us probably about 90% more to do that as well. It would be about a 10x cost on what we're currently spending. And you can program it with the logic that it needs to really be able to nurture somebody with a couple of really important questions and really soften that touch point, right? Instead of a hard landing, it's a little bit more of a softer landing. When you have that chat bot and that chat widget or that artificial intelligence to soften that landing and to kind of create more of a two-way road. Hey, what are you looking for? I'm looking for this. Awesome. What's your budget? My budget's this. Awesome. We have this service versus this service that I can now kind of guide that individual into that I don't even have to get involved with, right? So the AI is actually helping nurture and qualify that lead in a really kind of limited, more controlled environment. Do I think that leads would have come in, the leads that we got, would they have come in anyways, as opposed to SchedulerAI kind of booking them out? Potentially. I would say that the qualification of that lead is so much, again, it's so much more valuable than just getting a web form. About SchedulerAI books that meeting for us, it's able to facilitate some of that engagement and some of that nurturing prior to that call for me. So 100% of the time, it's able to like prep that individual the way that I need that individual prepped prior to a discovery meeting. So I get a lot of leads that come in, and realistically, like, I know they're not all qualified, so being able to kind of nurture and qualify those individuals before they ultimately come in, and I ultimately have a meeting with them, it's super valuable and super important to me. So I'm pretty convinced that I would not have had as good of discussions with the 6 individuals that we have had calls with if I didn't have some level of warming prior to a meeting. I just believe that if somebody engages a brand today, they expect to get an email, a text message, a phone call, whatever, pretty quickly after they fill out a web form, or pretty quickly after they have a chatbot conversation or what have you. So being able to nurture that individual, being able to nurture that lead as it comes in, it's more than just booking the meeting. It's warming that person up prior to that discussion, and I'm pretty convinced that SchedulerAI did that effectively to where I was able to have a good conversation with that person basically right away.